Hey there everybody, my name is Big Law, and today I'm going to be bringing you my anticipated runs for Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. That is going to be going on next month in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I will be there along with a bunch of other awesome people. If you are interested, registration is still open, so if you're waiting on the final schedule to drop, it is now out, it is complete. They've done the second round submissions, so we're going to see some pretty spicy new games in here. I got a couple of them on my list, and I am super looking forward to seeing what this marathon has to offer. Coming up on Sunday rather. Easy to get those two mixed up, they rhyme. Got Super Monkey Ball being ran by Helix Master Mode. If you've not seen Helix, just take the reins on Monkey Ball. You should check out this run. Helix is an absolute god at Monkey Ball and destroys pretty much any Monkey Ball game they can get their hands on, so do check this one out. I think it will be extremely tight. Coming up right after that is actually Donkey Kong Country ran by Tonkatsu. And I'm always a fan of some Donkey Kong. Get some movement going, get some barrel rolls going. Gotta collect everything in this run with 101%. So gonna be seeing a spicy one out of Tonkatsu. Later on in the evening, we'll be seeing Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty being ran by D-Limes13. And that'll be the European Extreme category. And if you don't know what that means, basically, you have to be perfect, you have to be spot on, or you are done. It is a game over. So, D-Limes has got a lot ahead of him. I love Metal Gear runs, and just seeing the absolute precision that is needed to pull these off is always a treat. D-Limes, the ball is in your court, and I am very much looking forward to that one. Immediately after the recap, it's going to be Batman Arkham City by Chicken Nuggets, and if you haven't seen an Arkham City run, you are going to be in for a bit of a surprise. There's a lot of pretty sick tricks you'll see in this one, some Batarang nonsense, you'll see some out of bounds, and Chicken has been running Arkham City for years, so I am super stoked to see what he's got up his sleeve for this one. Later on in the morning on Monday, I'm actually kind of looking forward to A Bug's Life being ran by Zik3, and if it's anything like the Bug's Life run that I know, it's going to be pretty fun. Got some pretty awesome 3D platforming in this one, and it's a nice short little treat, 6 a.m. in the morning if you're up that early. It'll be a cool one. Also got Worms Reloaded coming up shortly after by Mablock, and if you didn't catch the Worms run at SGDQ, was it HDQ? There was a Worms run recently, and it was super sick. And Worms runs just require an immense level of precision, just so everything falls into place perfectly. It is an aesthetic treat, and I'm hoping that Mablock can pull this one off and just make a very good run. Shortly after that one, we're going to be seeing Lego Bionicle by Derek MK for the Game Boy Advance. If you have not seen this run, you are in for a treat. It is a lot faster than you have any expectation of a Bionicle game to be, let alone on the Game Boy Advance. And Derek actually did this run for One and Doneathon, a GDQ Hotfix Marathon, I believe earlier this year or sometime last year. I can't quite put my finger on it, it was a while ago, but I did see that one live and it was a lot of fun, so do be sure to check out Derek's run of Lego Bionicle. Now, later on in the day, we are going to be seeing Sonic Adventure 2 Battle being done by AGDQ SR, and it's going to be Hero Story vs. Dark Story. A bit of bid war there, and it's going to be all A ranks, so we're going to be seeing some good Sonic action. There's a soft spot in my heart for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Like, just the run itself, just like a lot of nostalgia behind the game. And the SA2B speedruns have always been a mainstay in my heart for GDQ, so I am super stoked for this one. And after Only Up, that'll probably be a pretty spicy one as well. That one's by Mitriz. We'll be seeing Pokemon Diamond Slash Pearl by Etchy, and this one's coming in at just over an hour 15 minutes. I haven't actually watched a Diamond and Pearl speedrun in quite a while, so seeing how they can pull off a run in an hour 15 is going to be pretty interesting to me. I love Diamond and Pearl. It's like one of my first Pokemon games besides Emerald, so I am very much looking forward to this one. And then later on in the morning on Tuesday, I feel like I kind of have to shout this one out given my GDQ resume. Backyard Skateboarding by Peter Afro, any percent OG difficulty. And if you haven't seen Backyard Skateboarding, I'm not going to tell you anything. If you've seen Backyard Baseball, you know, same kind of idea. Kids just doing... It's kid sports, but Backyard Skateboarding is pretty fun, pretty goofy, so I'm going to be looking forward to that one. I'm not sure if I'll be able to catch it, but it is definitely on my watch list. Jumping ahead to 9:29 a.m., 9:30, we got Ryan Ford, the Legend, coming in with Gimmick, any percent zipless at 9 minutes. That's going to be a really fast one. If you haven't seen Gimmick, it is a visual treat. It is just movement like you wouldn't believe. And Ryan, I hope that he can pull off a very tight run on this one. It's going to be zipless as well, so do check out that one. Ryan is honestly a staple of the community, and I dig all the runs he does. So do check this one out, please. Coming up later in the afternoon, we've got Mario Kart Wii by Logan US, 32 tracks with skips. If you aren't aware, Mario Kart Wii has some pretty intense skips. If you want, you can look on YouTube and search up some crazy IL speedruns, but if you want to save yourself for GDQ, I totally understand that and be just totally blown away by what Logan has to offer here. And immediately after, we got Starfield. That's being run by Hark Cola. And I haven't actually watched the Starfield run either. This is going to be one of those runs that's been added for the secondary submission period, so this is going to be a fresh one straight out the oven. The community has been cooking up some hot stuff, I'm hoping. Bethesda games in general usually have some pretty wild bugs and glitches, so I'm excited to see what Harka has to offer on this speedrun. And later on in the evening, we actually got Hades, a 3-weapons race between Arcalena and Trash Lapras. Powerful name there. So 3 weapons, just if you don't know what that means, just taking one weapon, going through the game, killing Hades, going through again, just going through the underworld, doing that 3 times over, 3 weapons, and whoever is the first one to beat it wins. So I think that this is going to be a cool one. Hades runs are always fun to watch, and it's just super cool to see how they just absolutely decimate the bosses with these. So do check this one out. And a little bit later on, after the recap, getting into a bit of a horror-ish block. Okay, not really a block, but we do have RE2 Remake with Carcinogen, and Carcy is just, once again, one of the kings of horror. It runs at GDQ. Anything that he does is generally going to be good. The Biohazard run is forever ingrained in my brain with him doing that jump scare at the camera, so do check out Carcy. He's cooking, and just one of the kings of Resident Evil, so do check it out. Immediately after, we got Bobby with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and if you are unfamiliar with Bloodstained, it is a Metroidvania type game style type, you know, those sorts of things. But I love Bobby. I love all the runs he does. Do check out Bloodstained if you are at all interested in Castlevania or Castlevania adjacent runs. It'll be Zangetsu, all bosses, no major glitches. So we're doing this one mostly by the books. No, nothing too major in terms of glitchery, but do check out Bobby and his run, 1:54 a.m. on Wednesday. It'll be tight. Hopping ahead into the afternoon, Actually going all the way to 417 with Tonkatsu once again actually running Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. That'll be 80%, and if you've seen a Mario and Luigi run, it can be pretty visually busy in some places. That's what I'll say. But this game gets absolutely busted, and it is so fun to watch. I do wish Tonkatsu the best of luck in doing this one. And yeah, Mario Luigi is like one of my favorite games growing up, so I will for certain be checking that one out. And shortly after that, I actually have Super Mario 64. And normally I don't recommend Mario games all that much. I have a bit of Mario fatigue, but I think that this one's going to be pretty interesting because this is drum percent. So CZR is going to be doing a 16-star on a drum set, which is an interesting method of input, I'll say. I do want to see how BLJs work with with a drum set. In 24 minutes as well, so I'm sure CZR is going to pull off some pretty wild stuff for sure. Later on, we have Doom 2016 100% Nightmare difficulty by Retro_, and Doom runs are always a treat. The last time I believe 100% was run, it could have been AGDQ 17. I could be wrong. Let me actually let me fact check this one real quick. I am on the GDQ VOD website. Let's see. Pending. Okay, so 100% Nightmare was last run at 2020 by Bite Me. Do pardon my my mistake there. Last time prior to that, actually, the last time 100% was not run besides 2020. So it's been about 4 years since we've seen 100% run at GDQ, so that'll be tight. I do love Doom and just the collectathon nature of it with some crazy movement tech with it as well. I'm sure Retro is going to pull off a very hot run. Coming up a little bit later on in the morning on Thursday, we're getting into that awful block. So I got a couple games here that I'm looking forward to. I got Conception with Sneak King. If you're not familiar with Sneak King, it is one of the best brand video games of all time. It could rival Pepsi Man if Pepsi Man were in a coma. But Conception is the king of Sneak King, and he actually runs one of the Hotfix shows, Awfully Silly, so do check that out if you're interested. But Sneak King it's a Burger King video game where you have to sneak around and I think serve people Burger King, or you're just sneaking around in a forest. I don't remember the story of Sneak King. I'm very sorry, Conception, but we're going to get at least half of a run, 50%. So, getting like half the value meal here. You just get the burger, no fries, no drink. That's the third, but they don't teach you math in speedrunning. Stay in school, kids. But yeah, Conception, good luck with Sneak King. A little bit later, we got Brilliant Bob by Gary J. Games, and let me tell you, Brilliant Bob is actually one of the hottest speedruns known to man. One of the key pivotal pieces of tech in Brilliant Bob involves you pausing the menu, having jump bound to every direction on your thumbstick, and then just doing the Mario Party thumbstick palm spin. That's some tech right there to do some massive super jumps. So it's going to be pretty goofy. I remember seeing Gary do a run of this way back in like 2017. So I'm glad to see he's still on his game with Brilliant Bob. Do stick around for this one. Moving forward beyond the gem in the rough block, going to be hopping forward to 8 a.m. with Osborne and Allison 8-Bit doing a Skater Gator 3D race. I checked out the demo for Skater Gator 3D, and I thought this game had a lot of potential, a lot of movement in it. I was very much excited for this one, and I just can't wait to see what Osborne and Allison bring to the table with this race. 15 minutes as well, so if you got the time, do check that one out. It will be tight. Following up on that, at 11:45, we got Kirby and the Amazing Mirror got 3-player co-op between Kabasco, Mr. Shasta, and Swordsman Kirby, staples of the community. And Kirby Amazing Mirror is one of my favorite GBA games for Kirby. To be fair, there isn't like too much competition there, but like Amazing Mirror is a fantastic game, and seeing 3-player co-op is actually going to be really fun. I don't think we've actually seen many, if any, co-op games for Kirby out of GDQ, so this is definitely going to be one of those rare opportunities in GDQ to see something like this. So do check it out. I'm very excited. Now hopping on to the evening, Halo Combat Evolved, another co-op run between Helpless and Nervy Destroy. Do you love me some Halo? It's always fun just to see Mr. Chef do his thing, taking out the Covenant, taking out the Flood. I love Halo, so do check this one out. Hopping after the daily recap for the evening on Thursday, we got Bomb Rush Cyberpunk by Storied. I have not watched a speedrun of this. I've been keeping myself, keeping my eyes averted to this one because I'm just very excited. An hour and 10 minutes, so coming in around the length of Jet Set Radio, a bit longer, like about a half hour longer. But if you have no idea what Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is, it is the spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. So do keep an eye on this one. If you enjoy Jet Set Radio as a run, I'm fairly confident in how this one's gonna be. So. Plus, if you dig just groovy tunes, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, it's the place to be. Alright, hopping forward to 9:30 a.m., we got a true pacifist glitchless race for Undertale, and that one is going to be run by Shay and Mr. Link 2K. Something interesting that I learned is that Undertale has not been at a GDQ event since 2020 at Frost Fatales. So it's been 4 years since we've seen any Undertale at a GDQ, so this one is pretty damn overdue. I'm super excited to see how this race is going to turn out. Undertale is actually the finale for my first GDQ. It's ran by TGH at AGDQ 2017. So seeing how this one is going to turn out is going to be tight. Very much looking forward to this one. Hopping forward, Dark Souls 80% No Wrong Warp by Rigol. Dark Souls runs always a classic. Tons of skill involved. Make sure you get good, get ready. Also got Covert on host for that one. God, love Covert. What a legend. What a pure soul. Surely doesn't say raw dog too much nowadays. Anyways, love Covert. Love Gamer Show as well. Lots of great hosts coming up on this section of the day. Loving that. But yeah, Dark Souls is gonna be fun. Always is. So do check that one out. And afterwards, we got Borderlands 2 with Unjust Action and Deceptics, 2-player co-op. Borderlands, again, one of those runs that just is super fun to watch if you've played Borderlands. Just seeing some redonkulous stuff, like just some infinite ammo glitches. One of the players is going to be playing as the Axton. He's just going to be zooming through the levels, just hitting all the objectives. It's going to be really fun. And Unjust and Deceptics are both just staples of the Borderlands community, so they are going to put on a hot fire fuego run. Hopping on a little bit later, onto Saturday, last day of GDQ, we got Froob coming in with Lost Judgment, the Kaido Files 80%, the expansion for Lost Judgment. That one's going to be an hour, and I love Froob. He's such an innocent soul. I actually love him so much. So do check out his run. If you don't, I'll be sad. I'll be upset with you. But for real though, Froob puts a lot of love into his runs, a lot of effort, a lot of time and dedication. So do him the honor of watching his run on Saturday, because it's going to be tight. Coming up after, into the afternoon, we got Elden Ring versus Sekiro with Mitriz. I feel like there should be a second person here, unless he's just doing something wild. I don't know. Well, anyways, it's going to be these two games. Any percent unrestricted for Elden Ring versus any percent for Sekiro at 20 minutes. So that's going to be interesting. I genuinely don't know what's going on here. It's going to be cool though. Like, just seeing how fast either of those can be. Stay strapped in, I guess, and ready to see what Mitch has to offer for this one. Afterwards, we got Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda by Gymnast86. I also have not watched a Tears run yet, so I'm excited to see how it differs from Breath of the Wild in terms of tech. It's coming in at an hour as well, so a little bit longer. I think a fair bit longer for just pure any percent, but a 1 hour run is totally fine by me. We'll be checking that one out. And afterwards, we got Baldur's Gate 3 by May, and that's going to be all acts in 35 minutes. If you've not seen a Baldur's Gate run, sit yourself down, or, you know, try and finish your current run of Baldur's Gate, because if you're watching this, you might have one. There's some pretty goofy stuff they do to get through some of the acts really quickly. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is such a great run, great game, and I'm super stoked for May to get it in, and just hopefully she can pull off a wild ass run. Super looking forward to this one for sure. And with that is actually the end of the runs that I am super jonesing to watch. There's still also, you know, Grand Poo World and then Final Fantasy remasters, kind of like the ending block. But those are the runs that I personally am itching to watch, so do consider checking those ones out. Especially Baldur's Gate. I love this game, and I'm so stoked that it got in on the second submission period. But yeah, that will be all from me. If you do want to attend AGDQ, once again, registration is still open, so do consider checking that out if you're interested. It's going to be in Pittsburgh, running from January 14th to the 21st. And yeah, I have been Big Law. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you at GDQ if you're going to be there. Have a good one.